Good afternoon pepper lovers and welcome back to Growing with Isotope. In this video I'm going to be talking over a video I recorded at the end of last year of me helping to overwinter some of my father-in-law's pepper plants. As you've probably noticed, I've taken a short break from YouTube towards the back end of last year and I've been quite absent from social media for a while. I'll go over exactly what happened during this video and discuss my plans for the year. If you'd rather skip to the part where I start my seeds, I'll have some timestamps in the description. In September last year, I had some health issues which affected my mental health. Essentially, I lost all the motivation I had towards my hobbies. In addition to this, I started the process of leaving my old job and finding something better. I did succeed in this, but work pressures increased during my notice period, so I was unable to work on any videos. As a result of these things combined, I ended up sitting on recordings of 9 Eating with Isotope videos, all of which will be released on a regular basis throughout this year. I think a big factor in why I lost motivation was the absolute state of the weather that we experienced last year here in Gloucestershire. From sort of late June onwards, it was cloudy every day, it was wet, it was unseasonably cold for most of the summer, and of course that meant that my plants were only just starting to fruit in late September, which turned out to be too late for them to ripen because we were hit with some early frosts. There were some positives though, of course. Some of the crosses that I've been working on saw huge progress and I'll talk more about those probably in a later video. Recharge, I've gained back the motivation and energy needed to kick off this season and I'm very excited about what's coming. Basically the plans I have for this season are twofold. Firstly, I need to restock the Isotope chili store after I think a grand total of 0 varieties made it in last season. Some of them obviously will be restocks of old seeds that I've kind of brought back, like the Leopard Reaper, and some loads of new seeds as well. So I'm really excited about kind of bringing that back to you guys. Secondly, I'm going to attempt to get some of my chilies Scoville tested. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I haven't sort of been able to find a lab. I actually found a lab in the UK that's willing to conduct Scoville testing. So the plan is to grow some of the hottest, meanest and gnarliest peppers out there and sort of see how they rank against this so-called Pepper X. It sounds great on paper, but that does mean that I'm going to have to subject myself to these peppers on camera. So stay tuned for that. It could be the Vitalicus Hallow's Eve 2.0. So the result of all this planning is a grow list of around 40 peppers this year. A lot of them are super hots and some of them are not so hot. A lot of them are wild peppers that maybe people will be interested in getting seeds for. I myself have been really interested in the wild peppers kind of recently, so looking forward to growing some of them for you guys. This is definitely one of my most varied and ambitious grow lists so far, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting these seeds started. In terms of my personal life, this is the year that we're finally getting married. So we're both really excited about that. There's a lot of planning going on in the background for that, lots of shopping at different places, shopping for wedding rings, shopping for suits. Going to try and grow some beautiful flowers for the wedding ourselves as well, so that there's plenty of different ways the gardening can be involved in that. So yeah, we'll see how that develops throughout the year, but we're both really excited. So not only are we getting married, but we've also adopted the most lovely little guinea pig. Well, I say adopted, we kind of stole him from our neighbour. He's called Mr. Nibbles. We call him Nibs. You can expect that little guy to be featuring quite a lot on the channel and throughout the social media platforms. He does have a role in the garden, believe it or not. He is going to be the chief fertiliser producer. Guinea pig stomachs are so efficient that you don't need to compost their poop. You can just shove it straight on the garden and it'll work brilliantly. So that is exactly what we're going to do. He is effectively going to be growing his own veg. Clever guy, I know. There's also another update. I've moved into my new home office. It's a dedicated building which I've been using exclusively for work over the past couple of weeks. It might sound a bit echoey in here still. We're still trying to sort that issue out. Got some soundproofing going up over the next few weeks. But yeah, hopefully going to be setting up a nice little recording studio, a nice little area where we can sit down, look comfy, have a drink while we're eating these hot peppers, so at least we'll have a bit more comfort than just sitting outside in the elements. So yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. So yeah, thank you for listening to my rambles. I'm going to show a video of me starting the first seeds of the year, mostly my super hearts. So as you can see, a lot of these seeds that I'm sowing now are capsicum chilensis and a lot of wild species. That's because this year I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. I'm going to sort of be doing a sort of staggered start. Chilensis, they need a longer season, but they struggle with the cold indoors during the early season, I've found. So by sowing a smaller number of chilies, just my chilensis, I can heat them more effectively, keep that Goldilocks zone kind of right for them, so they can grow and not stunt like they have done in previous years. Another thing as well, I'm not using Silver Grow compost. I don't care what any other YouTuber says about Silver Grow compost. I've never had success with their stuff. So I'm still going to be trying to source sort of the not peat-free composts. I know a couple of suppliers locally that supply clover compost. Clover compost is excellent. I'm going to be using that. Never had an issue with that, so I don't really see any reason why I should change what I'm doing. You can make the arguments about why peat-free is better for the environment. I do kind of agree with that, but however, I'm just on a small scale. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, so by the time the chilensis don't need the heat mat, I'll be starting my other species like bactums, annuums, everything else really. I don't think I've got any frutescens this year. My pubescens I'll be starting at the same time as my chilensis because I know that they don't necessarily struggle to grow fast. They grow very fast in cold conditions, I've found, but they need the longer season to be able to ripen the pods because they have a 60-day ripening time at least. So I just figured I'd start them early, get them flowering, and then get them outside. So a lot of the peppers that I'm growing this year are actually the same varieties that I grew last year. So things like the Bubblegum 7 Orange Purple Flower, they didn't really have the chance to flourish last year just because of the terrible weather that we had. So I'm bringing them back this year in the hopes that I'll get some seeds, be able to restock the store, and some of them I'll be able to Scoville test them as well. And some of them that I do want to Scoville test, I'm going to be growing them exclusively indoors. So the Tiberius Mola Caramel, I'm going to have a plant indoors, and I think I'm also going to have a plant for that in the allotment polytunnel. The allotment polytunnel is a new grow area that I'm going to be using, which I'm going to be testing out the new Autopot system that I bought in. So yeah, thanks to recommendations by other YouTubers, I bought an Autopot 4-pot system, which is apparently really good for chilies. So I'm looking forward to putting that to the test. It's also quite a low maintenance system. And in terms of low maintenance systems this year, I think that's going to be quite a theme because I am quite busy with my new job and wedding planning, so I want to kind of be as hands-off as I possibly can with the peppers while they're growing. So I'm going to be developing an automated watering system using some IoT technology, Python, Raspberry Pi, different sensors, that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to kind of building out that integration, that setup, and I may do a video on it once it's done, but until then it's just going to be me slogging through it when I can, getting it all set up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Another thing that I'm going to be using this year is like a kind of small polytunnel to put over the allotment bed. It's just going to be another protection just in case we get a shit summer again. It'll kind of warm the bed up, it'll warm the soil up, it'll warm the plants up. Even if the sun isn't out all the time, it'll still retain some of that heat then. It'll be one of those things where I can just whip it off if it gets too hot, whip it off to water the plants. It's not really like a permanent structure, but it should definitely help to protect them from the elements and hopefully slugs as well, because I know I struggled with them last year big time. I do have a plan for slugs this year. It's not a very environmentally friendly one. I think if the slugs come out in force like they did last year, I'm just going to have to put slug pellets down. Nothing else is really working. I'm not too worried about the back garden in using slug pellets because it's not really part of a larger ecosystem. The front garden I will try and avoid slug pellets where possible, and of course the allotment. The allotment I think I'm going to pretty much leave to its own devices. I might try and use some natural defences like crushed eggshells, copper wire, that kind of stuff, but the allotment's quite far away, so I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on them all the time. But yeah, I'd definitely be using slug pellets in the back garden. It's unavoidable really, unfortunately. The last thing I've got to say is thank you very much everyone. Through your continued support of the channel, through purchases on the web shop, I've been able to finance my whole entire grow year this year. It's the first year that I've been able to do it just from funds from my website. So obviously that's monumental. I never thought I'd get the kind of support that I do. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. So yeah, thank you very much everyone. I'll do my best to grow some of the best varieties that I can, provide some of the best quality seed that I can. I know that Spicy Llama on the PLC Discord has had a lot of success with my seeds so far this year. They've been the first to germinate out of the ones that he's sown, so I'm quite happy with that result. But yeah, I'll definitely keep the quality up, and I'll keep the equipment coming as well, so I can improve my quality wherever I can. And yeah, going forwards you can expect sort of monthly updates on how the various grows are going. I'm going to be starting quite a few vegetable and flower seeds as well this year, to give the gardens a bit of a makeover, because they look a bit scruffy. They're not just for growing veg, they have to look nice too. And yeah, I'm sick and tired of getting dirty looks from the neighbours. So yeah, I'll grow some flowers, make it look a bit nicer I think. And yeah, your support will allow me to do that. Not spending a penny of my own money on it, just purely reinvesting what this channel has generated. So I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, thanks for following along with this little journey that I'm on. And I look forward to seeing you all in the comments section and in the next video.